Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody. Rock your body. Everybody. Rock your body right. Easy's back. All right. All right.
All right. All right. How about that little intro, guys? We have another intro coming out. And Carl Ruiz wants to say a little intro real quick.
Hi, welcome to the Maverick Time. We'll be talking about the Maverick Time.
All right. Thank you, Cara. How about that introduction, guys? All right. So, getting back to what we're here for, guys, we have Tony and Guapo Rodriguez joining us to give us some expertise on what's going on with the city of Eagle Pass and the $2.35 million loss they suffered to the 157 South Music Festival. Tony, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good.
I think, first of all, thank you for having me on the podcast. And before we start, I want to wish Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Que Diosito me les bendiga. And let's cut to the chase. That's the question.
Of course. Happy Mother's Day now. A lot of people saw that we were advertising this, have been asking questions. So we have the thing with the situation with the city of Eagle Pass, promotions, what's going on. Apparently, is a $2.35 million loss. And so we're bringing you on to give us some expert insight into, your world, the promotion world, and what was it that went wrong with the city of Eagle Pass. And if you could give us, what red flags you saw from this project right away.
Since let's go back in April, May last year. Heavy Farms on 480, owned by Hugo Rodriguez. I want to go have a conversation with them to see if they will rent out the venue. And I was going to do a 3-day weekend, which is 16 September. That's what we're looking at. And then I asked how much we're going to rent out the venue for. And they say 5,000 a day. 3-day weekend. It's 50,000. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm like, okay.
So what venue is this in particular, specifically?
The what?
What venue is this?
Heavenly Farms on 480.
Okay, on 480, got you.
Yes. So I go back the following week because the guy that does the production with the stage, he tells me go back and take video of the foundation because all it is dirt. And for the mosquitoes get spent $10,000 on mosquito medicine, what you want to call it. So I'm talking to Hugo, and Hugo tells me, we're at 5,000.
5,000.
Tells me no, we're at 25,000.
Whoa.
He said for the 3 days? Oh no. Per day. So I told him if you charge me 25,000 and Michael Segal charged me 18,000, I'm already in the hole. I'm already gonna be a negative. And then he turned around and told me I'm gonna get my beer license. So I'm gonna be selling the beer. So I told him
So this is
going back
before. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So this is before because we got a lot of people joining on right
Yeah.
now, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about this is a whole year prior to any event going off. This is
Exactly.
April, May 2003. You have the conversation with these people at Heavenly
Hey,
Farms,
and
and
then
they're
he tells me,
potentially renting out
and
their
then he tells me,
venue.
this is where the event's gonna take place. I told him, what event? Solar eclipse event. The city's gonna come over here. I'm like, okay. So right off the bat, I told him, so 25,000 a day, 3 days, 35,000. Okay. So the minute I turned around, got my phone when I called to Austin. I said, you know what? I need y'all to block it. It's a safety hazard. You have two sides of the parking. And they're like, Tony, we cannot do things like that. I sent them an email, which I have it on my phone as well. The way they were doing things, they were doing things not to help out a nonprofit, to benefit themselves and political, because there was no nonprofit on that event. So there was already a red flag on 480 Farms. They blocked it. They didn't have a beer license. So they called the Lions Club didn't want to get involved. So the last resort they had the casino. That's why they used their beer license.
So you're saying that's how they ultimately ended up having to go to the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino to use their beer license because no one else had a beer license that was willing to help out the city. And it did not work out the way you're saying in the beginning with these people at Heavenly Farms that you're saying were
They
the original ones.
because anybody can have a permit. But if you don't do things right within 2 weeks before you submit your permit, you need to have a 501c for the beer license and 501c for the sponsors. You need two nonprofits.
Okay.
And having the 59 form as well to get sponsors.
Okay.
So that's where everything just collapsed. Also, on the band, book the band. The bank gives you a 10% from whatever the band costs. So if the band costs 20,000, I'm gonna get me as a promoter. They're giving me $2,000 finder's fee.
Okay.
Any band will give me 10%.
For connecting them with a concert.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
also, what other promoters don't know, when there's an insurance out there that you pay 35,000, and that insurance, in case it rains, and let's just say I invested $250,000 on the venue, and the show's still gonna go on. It rained, so the insurance goes up. They're gonna measure the drops, how big were the drops. So right off the bat, you can put a check of whatever amount you spent on the whatever amount you invested on the venue. Remember, you have to have insurance for the weather, and you have to have a liability insurance as well. Someone gets stabbed, someone gets shot. You know what? They're not gonna sue you. They're gonna sue the company.
yeah. Well, okay. That's good information coming in. So, what do you think about in the very beginning, moving back? You saw this happen. The liquor license didn't pan out for Heavenly Farms. So the original place was not originally the Shelby Park then. That
No,
was
sir.
Plan B.
Because after that, they moved to the Shelby Park, and then Governor Abbott took it away from Shelby Park.
That's right.
So right off the bat, we had red flag Heavenly Farms, red flag Shelby Park, and they were gonna have it at the golf course, but that wasn't going as well too, because the golf course organization wasn't gonna sell the beer, but they moved it from there to the casino.
Yeah, and that's some of the things that we wanted to clear up and we wanted to hear. So, in the beginning, you had these venues moving forward and everything. So, the city of Eagle Pass came out and went out for bids to attempt to get a promoter that can handle the concert. So, whenever they did that, there was no bids. Is that correct?
Well, there was no bids because Rolly and Mark Meeson are related.
So somebody did submit bids, is what you're saying then?
No, they already had companies since last year. I already knew management one is a company owned by Jesse Meeson and Mark Meeson.
Yeah, and we saw that they the company.
Generated in May.
Yeah, it was just filed. It was filed in May 27th of
Yeah,
2023.
it
So
hasn't been a year.
it was a brand new company. And it hadn't been a year yet that they were in existence, and they already got a
Contract.
a contract and a pretty big contract, as a matter of fact. And we have that here. We want to see if you can comment and a little bit about this contract. I'm not sure if you can see, but just one management,
Yeah,
57th
yeah,
Music Festival, right?
yeah.
So
I
you
see
got
on
management
the
and talent. Can you explain that a little bit for us?
Okay, on the this is something that I've never seen throughout the years I've been in this business. Where's this $18,387 overtime? You know, I've never once charged overtime on the event.
See,
One
I think the top part, I think the top part right there, just one management. The total was the 2.4 total spent, and then you see the city. So I think the overtime would correspond as to how much overtime the city spent with their employees.
Yes.
Yeah, internally.
Yeah, but literally marketing 121,800. If you spent that much money in marketing, the event wouldn't have flopped like it did.
So you're saying they didn't spend that much.
They didn't spend that much.
So what you're saying from your experience, that marketing of 1,200 and $1,000, right? $150,000. You're saying that that's just a number created and they didn't really spend that?
That is correct, because if I spend 141,000, I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go posters. There was not one poster, one flyer on the street.
There wasn't anything we
So
saw.
if I would have done the event, I would focus on outskirts of Pass, Laredo, Del Rio, Orlando, Carrizo, San Antonio. You know, I would have gone big, not just on case at 12 or social media, but I would have done radio, because a lot of people don't listen to the radio. A lot of people don't listen to social media. But putting posters out there and going to other events, promoting them.
So looking at that expense, what calls out to you? What do you see right away? I know you say the marketing number looks a little inflated, but what else out there kind of pokes at you?
Services? What kind of services?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people want to know what that services for $1 million was actually all about.
Services. Services. You cannot put that as a what do you call it? When you say services, you cannot put that under equipment rental, because equipment rental was $78,460, which is the porta potties, the stage, the production. You know, the production that we
So the production was pretty much paid by the city then.
at the lake. Everything was $65,000 production, the stage, the band, everything.
Well, that's a lot less than what everything is here paid for. it seems. I mean, you have a services. So what would fall under that, or is that some category that you're not familiar with?
I never came across services. Never. Now the talent for $1,228,860.
Mhm.
I want to see that. I want the contract because Ramon Ayala. I want to see his contract because I have a contract with Ramon Ayala. Was only charging 150,000.
So now, a comparison that you can do if we were like, let's say, be able to get a hold of these contracts to compare to give you a más o menos of what they actually charge.
Yeah, and
You have a pretty good ballpark figure.
Yeah, and Tocable charges 40,000. Last year in Tocable in Laredo, it flopped. They canceled. They're not worth 250,000. They're worth about 40,000.
So would you say that many of these bands were possibly overpaid or
They were overpaid.
underappreciated?
They were overpaid.
Wow.
Some of these bands were on stage at freaking 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and there was nobody there.
Is that something typically that you see in concerts, or
No.
that's not? There's people out there when you're
Concerts start at 7 o'clock. Or 4 o'clock. You have Cumbre, Jaime Olivares, and Duelo. It started at 4. But you have smaller opening bands, Pero at 7, that's when all the big bands come up. In Laredo, they had that Costumbre Duelo and Olivares, and they were charging $60. 30,000 people went there, and they made $1,800,000.
Wow.
And Duelo only charged 30,000. Costumbre only charged 6,000. Jaime Olivares only charged about 4,500, and then the stage and the production another 18,000.
Well, that seems a lot cheaper than what the city had to kind of pay on this 57 South Festival.
Yeah, because Parker they have paid Frontera.
Mhm.
Frontera was charging 800,000. When I have because the manager from Frontera, he's the same manager that manages Bad Bunny. They charge 400,000. And right off the bat, when you do a deposit, you pay half of it, and then the other half you go on stage for a week before.
Wow. So, looking at this festival, what is it that happened? What went wrong?
Honestly, the way I see it, the promoters, they benefit themselves. The city, they were the ones that approved it because they didn't get approved by city council. They went around it. Because when you go over $50,000, it has to get brought up to the city council to vote on it. Nobody voted on it.
There's got to be a voting process and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this contract was directly handed to just one management?
Exactly. Plus, Jesse Rodriguez, the finance guy, he was the one that said, who's going to be held accountable for this money? And they fired him because he wasn't doing things their way.
Wow.
Nobody knows that. I know that because I already knew the company.
A lot of us don't know what happened. That's what we're trying to figure out, and it's I'm for something. I'm getting a lot of Tony, I'm getting a lot of people saying that they're not able to hear the audio right. Um, do you mind maybe going out, coming back in? Because I think there's a big echo or something. I've already gotten like 3 people send me messages, and I think we're.
Okay, I'm gonna.
If you close out, you can use the same link and come back in.
Okay, close it out.
Okay.
Okay, right there.
Okay, no, I think you have to exit all the way out.
No, let them know, see if you can hear me there.
I can hear you. Let's see. Guys, help us out there. How does it sound? Does it sound a little bit better now? Yeah, because I was getting some messages that we got some feedback and stuff like that, and you're saying some very important things, and I want to make sure that everybody listens to what you got to say here.
Are we still on the same thing or no? You want me to hang up?
Yeah, so try that and get back in.
All right.
Just real quick, sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. Okay. All right, guys. Let me see. Let me know how's the sound out there. We're gonna have Tony coming back right in. Tony El Guapo Rodriguez is giving us some important information. He's just telling us right now that there was no process. The city council did not approve the situation going down.
Right there.
There you go. I mean, I hear you fine. I hear everything good. I'm trying to see how everybody else hears. Guys, in the comments, let us know what you think. If you guys could hear everything all right. Now, so you're telling everybody here that there was no process. City council did not approve just one management. The just one management
I'm gonna tell you the way it happened. In December, I had the text message with Mark Meacham on my phone that I went to go meet up with him at the casino.
Okay.
And I told him, you guys are doing things the wrong way. He's like, everything's sold out. No, it ain't. We have a beer license. No, you don't. Because I already know how the process works. You know what I mean? You there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to fix the sound. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, the process that you're saying is happening. So I don't know if do you think that there was something that maybe could have been avoided, or how? I know that they were trying to cancel the concert. Now, a big thing is 2.35 million was lost. Do you think that had they have canceled, that the city of Eagle Pass could have saved some of that money that they lost?
A lot of money they would have saved. A lot of money.
So, what would you project that at? Like around 50%, a million? Because they lost 2.35.
Okay, George Sanchez with the city of Eagle Pass. He wasn't even involved.
No, and typically he is the one that is involved.
He's always the one putting the events together, the 4th of July, everything.
So he was totally removed from the situation, no plan.
I guess he was left out.
Okay.
And then sponsors, $35,000 in sponsors. What sponsors? There was no sponsors.
No sponsors. Well, it did mention that there was 35 sponsors there.
Well, all the radio stations.
So the $35 you're saying that the radio stations, it was them?
Yep.
They're sponsoring?
Yep. They had freaking the radio station out there doing live remotes. But was there results? There was no results. On Friday, only 250 people went. 209,000 in ticket sales. What did they do? Buy tickets and give them away to make it seem people went?
Wow. So that first day, there.
Only 250 people went. I lost you. I can't hear you. I can't hear your voice, your mic.
That's crazy.
I can hear you there.
You can.
Yeah, I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
we're here
on
trying to
Friday,
fix
you only
the
had
voice,
250
right?
people.
So
Saturday, you only had about 2,500, 3,000 people. So total people that went, the same people that gave the ticket, they gave the tickets away. That was the same people that went.
mhm. That same day of
Remember when
the first
they
day you're
started
talking
the
about.
tickets at 200. They started tickets at $233 for the 3 days. Remember that?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay,
So
everything
then,
was frozen. Tickets were not selling. There was no spend. No, there was no sponsors. There was no vendors, because when we do events and we put them together, there's always 50 vendors. There's shit. Excuse my language. There's a whole bunch of sponsors. Bud Light, Silver Eagle, Bud Light, T-Mobile will have all these big corporations as sponsors, but on that day there was no sponsors. Why? Because you're not gonna have a 501c for the beer license and a 501c for the sponsors. You need two nonprofits. And what these people did, they were benefiting themselves, and it was political, and that's why the state did not give them a beer license.
wow. And that pretty much shaped everything going forward. But you mentioned the number that they told you that they were going to get for renting out the Heavenly Farms
Over
venue.
350,000, and they were gonna sell the beer. But since they didn't have the beer license, I don't know if they got a beer license, and
Wow.
then Department of Transportation told them that they can't have a venue there, because I told the state, look, it ain't rocket science. I'm watching Park McCullough as an example, and I'm already half drunk. I said, tell my wife, I'm gonna go to my phone. I start walking across the street on 480 because I parked on the other side. I lose my balance. I fall. 18-wheeler runs over me. I'm gonna sue the state of Texas. I'm gonna sue the city. I'm gonna sue the promoter, and I'm gonna sue the owner of the venue. So right off the back, block it, and that's what they did. They went to go block it. It's a safety hazard.
Yeah. So this whole thing started
Last
in
year,
May last year, guys.
it was in like in March, in late March, early April.
Okay. Now, and now I'm repeating and I'm circling again, Tony, because right now we're getting confirmation that we're both. So that's why I'm kind of backtracking and going over everything again. All right. So
Yes,
we
yes.
got this coming up in April, May of last year. So plans were already being set before
Plans
it
were
had
already
even
even
gone
set.
to anything.
Okay, but the difference where the red flag was at, when they tried to get permission from the state, it was
Mhm.
already blocked. I already had blocked it. Like, in other words, before the fire even started, I already had turned
Mhm.
everything off. I already had put tabs on everything,
Mhm.
based on the experience that I've been doing this for a long time.
Mhm.
I don't want to have a death on the highway, because it's going to come back to my company, my insurance, and I'm going to go get the one get sued if there's a fatality.
Mhm. So moving forward from that point, they could not do it anymore at Heavenly Farms. So what did the city do? They announced that they were going to have it at Shelby Park.
Joey Park.
Okay,
But
and then
but
that.
the mayor, he tried to go back to, like, take it away from the state of Texas. But
Mhm.
once it's signed, You can't take nothing away. You can't go back on there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take it away from the state of Texas." You can't. You can't do that.
Yeah, no. Once the state of Texas gets something from you, that's pretty much that, right? Good luck.
Common sense. Who's more bigger, the federal government or the state of Texas?
Yeah, yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So,
And I even told I even when I had that meeting, the city council meeting, it's a movie. I'm already watching everything, what everything's gonna how everything's gonna fall in place, and right now they're scared. Marua, he's scared because they think that everything's washed away. Oh no, it's the beginning. It's the beginning. But why? Because taxpayers, whenever there's an event and tax is coming from taxpayers' money, I don't care who the promoter is. I don't care what the city do. Like you have to pull out the contracts, not the
mhm.
contracts from the promoter, because they got him as a third party. Because me as a promoter, I'd call Ramon Ayala. Ramon Ayala, instead, who do I make it the contract to? Right there, the promoter said, you know what, make it out to just one management. Instead of him saying, make it out to the city of Eagle Pass.
I'm glad you bring that up. So you're saying what just one management did was that they went out and they first contracted with the bands, with the talent,
No, they
and
had given
then
$1 million away without no
what?
contracts.
What? Wait, what do you mean? Who gave $1 million away without no contracts?
Jesse Rodriguez.
So the city finance director authorized to give a $1 million advance.
Before there was one contract on the table.
Wow.
Let's just say I'm the promoter and you're Jesse. Say, hey, I need
Okay.
some money. I need some money up front so I can start putting all these bands together. Wait a minute. If
Okay.
I'm the promoter, I'm gonna bring you a contract. Hey, so much is charging 35,000. I need a check payable to this band because I have a contract in my hands. But when you start giving money up front like that, and there's no contracts, there's a problem. That's the reason why he got fired because he said, "Who's gonna help be accountable for this?" And they fired him.
So he was. I'm having trouble. Was he the one that authorized that money, or was that something that he caught on to that $1 million was already given out?
No,
Or
he was the one that got fired for not doing things their way.
oh wow, okay. So now he's the only one so far that has felt anything from this event or this loss that the city had, the 2.35 million. Um, Now, there has been a lot of talk, especially Councilwoman Monica Cruz. We saw an interview with her with some other media, and she had mentioned something about a committee. Can you tell us anything about a committee that was involved, or do you know anything about that?
Let me tell you the committee. If they're talking about that committee, I'm gonna tell you that committee has been washed away and it hasn't been around for more than 5 years. And I'm gonna tell you what committee is that. It's called the Room Tax Committee.
Okay.
When I do an event, I go to the Room Tax Committee. The room tax is like other hotels where you stay at, you pay taxes, the bridge, you know.
Hmm.
So all the in 5 years was we're not gonna give out no money. You fill out the application, but there's no room tax committee. Oh, but if anybody else gets involved, the city's gonna give out money. The way I see it is political. That's the way I see it. But that's what the room tax committee or
Well,
what
they had mentioned. I'm familiar with the room tax committee, but they had mentioned an internal committee that was made up of department directors. Is that true? Do you have anything?
there's never been a department of directors. The only committee that I see that you vote on it is the city council. Now, the committee there besides that, it's called the city committee in case, and I don't even know if that one's around too, because one of the members that I knew that was in that committee, in case, you know how the city of Eagle Pass have their police officers in case they do something wrong or they get
Yeah.
disbanded, they go through that committee, which was back then it was Rodolfo Lopez. He was one of the members, but as far as from that committee down, it's been no one.
Okay.
I have no idea unless they just generated that committee because they didn't know where else to look for.
Okay. No, yeah. Typically, whenever there's a professional service, there's a committee that's made, and they grade whoever puts in a bid. Now, Councilwoman Monica Cruz mentioned in an interview that something about a committee that was involved in some kind of capacity of decision making. Now, we don't know who was involved, and we're trying to get the names of the people that were a part of this committee. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to that level yet to get the names. But so just one management. Now, you've been in promoting for several years now. Have you ever heard of just one management or the owners being in the promotion? I mean,
Never, never.
I assume that you guys know each other, right? You guys, probably even
Well,
help each other out,
it's
like
there. It's
promoters and stuff.
well, uh, Mark Meanton
I
went to
mean,
school.
literally, right?
Mark Meanton went to school with me,
Okay.
and never in my life, as far as I know, he used to work for a liquor company, and now I already know because he had to step down from the liquor company, generate his LLC, and then put this event together where they made a ton of money, a ton. It was just stupid.
No, yeah, I mean, and we could see by the numbers, there was a lot of money that was made or transacted. There was a lot of money exchanged. Now, one of the things that is becoming concerning, what you mentioned about the hit or the company making their contract out already with the band and then selling it as a whole package to the city already. Now, tell me what could happen in those cases. Is there a room for, he could be selling the city that contract at a much inflated rate of what he actually paid the bands? Is that possible?
What he did um on his terms and conditions, because
Mhm.
he's a promoter, saying that he cannot pull out the contracts. Well, when you do a third party, you can and you can't. But if you go directly with the bands and it's public records, they can
So
pull out the contract.
so you can request that from some way from bands and it would be public record. But doing the way they did it, is
No,
it sealed?
they just say I'm Ramon Ayala and I'm charging you 150,000. Okay,
Mhm.
but you as a promoter, you're gonna re-edit the contract and make it under just one management and say, you know what, I'm gonna charge the city 250,000. So you pay the
Wow.
150,000 for Ramon Ayala, and then you say finder's fee, and then you get 100,000.
That's a pretty big finder's fee. I mean, you just mentioned right now
Right?
finder's fee is
When
10%, right?
yeah, right, no, well, it's not just 10% from the band, but when the band's giving you a 10%, if gig for them. But if I charge a finder's fee and Tocali charges 40,000, I'm gonna do the contract for 42,500, which is I'm gonna charge $2,500 finder's fee, which is a decent
Okay.
amount. It's fair
Mhm. Well,
because
yeah,
somehow
because you're telling me 2,000 on 40,000. That's nothing. 2,000 out of 40,000. That's nothing,
that's
right?
nothing. Plus on
But a
top of the
100,000.
yeah, plus on top of the 4,000 that I'm getting for the 40,000 finder's fee, 10%.
Yeah, but
So right off the
it
back, I'm already
seems.
getting my 4,000 plus the 2,000. I'm getting $6,500
Ugh.
from the band that because I'm booking them, I'm giving them a gig, I'm getting paid 10%. but I'm still charging my finder's fee, which is $2,500. It's nothing.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying is that, I mean, you're telling us 10% is the normal, range, but if you look, I mean, it seems by the invoice that they made it seem the talent versus what their fee was is around 10% management fee and talent fee. You got 1.2 million and they charged 146, but again, you don't know if some of that management fee, as you're saying, got mixed around because of the contracts that were done. Now,
Exactly.
yeah, and you're saying that we cannot request those contracts to see those contracts at this time?
Because
Or
management one, if they did their own contracts on the terms and conditions
it's not subject
as
to?
a third party, you know,
Yeah, they're not
what
subject to the Texas Public Information Act.
exactly.
Was that done intentionally, Tony? I mean,
It was.
do promoters do that
It
sometimes?
was. It
Or
was because I approached the city and I told them, "Let me help you all out. There is not going to be cutting
were
corners here. Here,
were you
the
gonna
band.
what were you gonna charge the city? I'm curious because if
No,
you were anxious to that,
the band. They just say Ramon Ayala. Hey, Ramon, how much you gonna charge me? 150,000. Okay.
okay,
City, hey, can you make the contract to the City of Eagle Pass? But you know what? I'm gonna make another contract, finder's fee, for $2,500, and and Ramon's making the contract directly to the City of Eagle Pass for 150,000. He's not making the contract to me. He's making it out to the city. So
and
there's
that's how you work.
that's how I work.
So I mean, that seems pretty transparent enough because what you're doing is you're putting two parties together.
Exactly.
You're getting your fixed rate for your
But
what you did, right?
we're
Put them
going getting out
together.
of the way and start calling people and trying to see the bands if they're booked on this day, or tell
Yeah,
me a
of
date.
course.
What date do you need? I need a 16 de septiembre, or I need a Labor Day weekend or 4th of July weekend. Or sabes que, uh, Tony, I'm gonna need two gigs. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna book you in San Antonio, and then come to Eagle Pass, and then see if I can get you in the Rio. So I'm gonna give him 3 gigs, and he's gonna sell me a date for a reasonable price, but I'm connecting him with the City of Eagle Pass. So when you make the contract, you're not gonna make the contract to me. You're gonna make it to the City of Eagle Pass. I de Parillas, La Tropa F. I'm charging 4,500. Okay, that's directly with them. I'm still getting paid my $450, my $400, which is 10%. But I'm still charging my $2,500 of finder's fee, or $1,500. It wouldn't be no more than 2,500.
So you got to the 10% plus the fixed rate.
The
Again, it's a lot. It's still a big I mean, the way you're comparing it of your pay structure, it would have been a big savings to the city
Oh
had
yeah,
they.
because I would have been directly with the city and the band, city and band, not third party, because I'm not getting involved where the band's gonna make the contract to me. I'm gonna change it and send it to them. That's a no. That's a red
and
flag, right?
that was done with every single band on this
Yep.
on this event. Oh wow.
Now let's go back. Um, Georgia Tuna.
Yeah. City manager,
Yeah, we had a
former
conversation.
city manager.
We had a conversation this a while back when he was with the city manager position, and I told him, you know what, I want to put an event together for you guys, and I want to, you know, and they were like, we can see, we can hire you. So when I went, because I'm not gonna mention other members that were there in the office, and he said, come back after lunch, but I already knew what those people were gonna say against me. So I'm like, okay, I go back and I talk to Georgia Tuna, and Georgia Tuna is like, oh, you want this position? Oh, you're crazy because you want this position. No, I never said I wanted a position. I never said I wanted to work for the City of Eagle Pass. I never said I want to work for the county. But for that remark that you're saying, you're gonna see who's gonna be more crazier. And I told him, you see those people right there, they're gonna turn against you. You're gonna end up getting fired. You're like, you're crazy. We'll see. In less than 6 months, he got fired. But why?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do things the right way, but they didn't want to get me. But they got Mark Minton, which is a Native American from Eagle Pass. His dad used to own a bail bonds company, Louis Minton.
Hmm.
And I'm saying it the way it is because, like I said, I've always done what I want when I want. And nobody has stopped me. Nobody has corrected me. Why? Because I do everything the right way. When I do an event, you know what? You're the boys club. You know what, Isaac? As a nonprofit, you're gonna sell the beer, and all the profit that you make, that's for you. The promoter is gonna get the door.
Hmm.
I get back to the community. That's what TBC likes. When you get back, hey, they love you because you're giving back to the community. But when you make a profit 100% and you spend millions of dollars and there's not $1 giving back to the community, we have a problem. And that's why they got denied.
So, in your opinion, you think from the very get go, this was just a plan to
Political,
uh,
benefit themselves. That's it.
So I'm getting information that there was bids submitted, a couple of bids submitted, and for some reason the city decided to go with um, just one management rather than deal with any other promoting company.
Well, there was at the time there was nobody. All of a sudden, just freaking promoters came out. When I spoke,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna mention names. I spoke to a city official, and they said, "Oh, we're not dealing nobody from Eagle Pass. We hired a company." Like Mark Minton and Jesse Minton. They just stared at me like, "How do you know?" I said, I know because in this business, everybody knows each other. But like I
Yeah,
said, I only say what people want to hear. But in reality, I know more than I know. I know how to play both sides.
mhm. Yeah, and we're getting a word right now that there was actually multiple bids submitted, and the reason that it came out by mistake. It wasn't actually something that was presented to the
The
city
city
council.
council, exactly. Now, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, El Paso, Laredo. It's not a country market. Who chose those bands? Not the council,
Hmm.
not the city, the promoter. When I do an event for the city, hey, it's what the people want.
Mhm.
If they freaking want a Wookiee, Los Recoditos, Banda MS, um, Grupo Firme, Frontera, Peso Pluma, whoever. Even if you spend 1 million, on that 1 million is George Strait, $100 a ticket, and ask me if people are gonna show up to that concert.
Oh yeah, well, George Strait will sell out anything you put in front of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you spend all that amount on bands that people don't know, Parker McCall, I didn't even know who he is. You know,
So who do you think got the opportunity to choose these bands? I mean, you're saying the promoter, but if the promoter is catering to, a promoter, I mean, I would assume whoever pays you, I mean, you would want to make the concert towards them, right? Or at least for them to like it,
yeah, yeah. But this was the promoter's idea.
to bring country in here.
Yeah, yeah. They said, "Hey, Parker McCullough. I'm like, who's Parker McCullough? Chef, just bring George Strait. Or you know what? They brought Kevin Fowler. I think Kevin Fowler was in the lineup too. You know what?
Mhm.
Get Luke Bryan or bring somebody else, somebody famous, or Los Recoditos, somebody that banda. Because remember, you have the border town, Piedras Negras. There was no reason for that to flop. But on that day, they had La Marco Plaza and La Tropa Estrella. It was fully packed. Last night, they had Bobby Pulido and Los Reyes Locos in Piedras Negras, where it was free event for Mother's Day. And last year,
Wow.
there was packed. They only had 15,000, 20,000 people there.
Wow.
Now, what I don't like about the city, and this is going to every city official out there, who are they to go to every bar downtown and shut it down because you want the people to go to the event?
Wait, what happened now?
They went to every bar downtown to shut it down for them not to open those days because they wanted the people to go to the event at the casino.
You're kidding me. So
No,
there
no,
was city officials that went to bars that knocked on their doors and said you cannot operate these days.
exactly.
Wow. That's a book straight out of, I mean, that's a page straight out of the communist book.
But you know what? That's why things happened the way it happened. I, Tony Rodriguez, shut that event down. And nobody knows how but me and God. That's it. When you do things the wrong way, I'm gonna get involved. I don't care who it is. And I don't know you, Pat. You know you've in the last 3, 4 events, they flopped in the past because they don't do things the right way. But
And
and be
specifically, well,
it's called it's you know what the word is?
what's that?
Being greedy.
Hmm.
That's the word. Being greedy.
Yeah, it could happen, right? I mean, it does happen. And what your experience is that what happened in this case that people got greedy
People got
and
greedy. The people got greedy. The minute they changed from 5,000 to 25,000, I was like, okay. And I was like, all right. Got my phone, called the state. I said, Tony, we can't do things. You know what? I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow in Austin. I drove to Austin. I was with chain of command with the Department of Transportation and Texas Alcoholics Beverage Commission. Do they know that? No, they didn't know that. But I only say what they want to hear. And I did it. You know why? Because when you give me a number, you tell me, you know what, Tony? I'm only gonna charge you 5,000. You stick to that number. But when I go back a week later and you change it on me, oh, there's gonna be a lot of red flags.
now, I mean, how did these people know in Heavenly Farms that they were going to have the solar contract, the solar event there? That's, I
Because
mean, I'm
because
curious about
because I
that.
already had spoken to them, and you're like, this is where the event's gonna take place, and I was like, oh, it is really. I was like, no, it ain't. I only say what they wanted to hear, but as far also uh, they called a public official to see if he can help them out. He didn't want to get
Mhm.
involved. He didn't want no part of it. Also, pero it's like I said, the city of Eagle Pass versus the state of Texas, and who has the upper hand? The state of Texas. Who's the one that gives you the permits, the beer permits? The state of Texas.
Yeah.
And
So,
it was blocked from it was blocked from the get go. It was like he when he threw him a curveball, he didn't know what the hell was happening. But when they told him you cannot have that event here, not just that event, any event, period.
oh wow. So they're that property, I guess, can that's it.
That's it. They're
That's
done.
done as a venue.
Yep.
They're done as a venue.
Yep.
But I mean, what surprises me is that a lot of us, I mean, me included, thought that Shelby Park was the original place that they had in mind,
No,
and then it turns out that
they were gonna get Hugo to sell the beer. He was waiting for his beer
wow,
license. But
Wow.
when you don't do things the right way, it gets denied. And I have the email here on my phone. When I sent it, do not give them a permit, block it. And who am I? I told them, look, let's do things the right way. Oh, he was like, no, okay, 25,000. It's not 5,000. I'm like, oh, really? You changing it on me? Okay. But little did they know that I'm very well and I have a good relationship with the state of Texas.
Oh, wow,
Why?
man.
Because I give back to the community. You don't know the state's gonna like you when you give $20,000, $30,000 in scholarships to kids.
No, yeah. I mean, of course.
Now, did you see a nonprofit on this event? No. Did they give
Hmm.
out to the community? No. Why? Because they're in debt. Did they say, you know what? We're gonna give away the nonprofit. Let's get a Mr. Mayan from the Boys and Girls Club. You know what, Mr. Mayan? You're gonna sell the beer and all the profit sales. You keep it. Did they do that? No. That's why Mayan doesn't work with nobody but me. You can even ask him.
Well, I mean that would seem like the most reasonable thing to do is partner with somebody so somebody benefits, right? I mean
Exactly.
that.
But when you don't have a nonprofit and you're doing things shady and illegal, there's gonna be red flags everywhere, and you're not even gonna go to which rock you're gonna go under on. You're not even gonna know why, because okay, you don't have a nonprofit for the beer permit. No, okay, denied. You can't pull the permit out. Now, Uo couldn't use the license from over there to Shelby Park, so that's why they had to use the golf course nonprofit organization. But since they didn't want them to get involved, they moved it to the casino.
Hmm.
And casino was the one that made the profit. And then the general manager and the Arabian guy, some I don't know what's his name, they got fired the following week on Wednesday. They got escorted out of the casino.
Do you have any insight on that on what happened there?
What happened there is that they spent so much money, and the city told them that if they would have provided so much money, they will split the earnings, and they thought it was going to be it was the event was going to explode, and it was going to be a good outcome and all that, and they lost a lot of money.
So the tribe also the casino lost money.
Yeah,
So both the city and the casino lost money on this event.
yeah.
Wow, man. We got a lot of people, Tony, out here listening to your expert expert insight on the promoter world, letting us know all the insights coming.
Okay, look, Isaac, you as the Maverick Times, and I'm going
Mhm.
to extend my hand to you. If you want to do an event, you have all the money. I don't care, because I've helped out the radio stations in San Antonio back in the days when it was San Antonio numero uno Tejano stations 107.5. Back in the day when 92.9 the 92.9 Stereo Latino. You help out all these radio stations, which is a nonprofit, because those radio stations are gonna help out the community. They're gonna get back to the community. So when you do something like that, you get all this money from sponsorships, and then that money you use to pay out the expenses. You pay the lighting. How much they paid it in light towers? How many towers did they get? Shuttle services, $2,500. I thought when you park at a parking lot, casino was charging at the parking lot. You know,
Wow.
see, there's things you don't know. Um, Porta potties. You get porta potties. You get a nonprofit. You get a local attorney. You get someone to pay the expenses. The stage, the production. It's only $14,000. It ain't no 78,000. What we spent for Duelo, it was only $14,000.
And they spent 78, and that was like across several bands, right? And you're
It
saying
was
you
it
only
was 60 it
spent.
was 65 total.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
But it was Sonora Dinamita, It was duelo. It was the stage, the production. Remember, it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was a 3 day
Mhm.
event.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, you had duelo out there. You had 12, 15,000 people. It was
Hmm.
the anniversary for Eagle Pass, 150 years.
Yeah.
But you do things the right way. Why? Because on that event, the Lions Club were the ones that sold the beer, the nonprofit. They made their money. Why? Because they give back to the community, and it was a free event.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. I
remember,
mean,
it came out of taxpayers' money.
mhm.
But 65,000 wasn't a big deal versus 2.35 million. You know,
No, and it's difficult. For us to sort out, as the residents and the people watching, we got a pretty big number all across our social medias watching us right now. We got about 80 live viewers, but and it's hard because a lot of people don't, they live their everyday lives. They, go pay their taxes, they pay their bills, they show up to work, take care of their kids. So, and that, I think that's where we try to fill in the gap, where we're bringing you on here to tell us, what is it they did wrong as a perspective from a
they did
promoter
everything wrong.
himself.
They did everything wrong. How
Everything.
come the
Wow.
promoter didn't connect the city and the bands? It's not
Yeah.
that hard, but
Yeah.
they wanted to benefit themselves and make a profit out of it. Well, they made a huge profit.
The city didn't though.
The
Yeah.
promoter did.
The promoter did. Wow.
Yeah, because,
Well.
hey, right off the back, when I get a band, Sasuke, you know what? I'm going to get a freaking duelo. Hey, you know
Mhm.
what? Make the contract to the city of Eagle Pass. Hey, this is what duelo's charging. But here's my other contract where I'm charging the finder's fee, $2,500. You have two contracts.
Yeah.
But the promoter, he knew what he was doing.
Well, see, and that's
Now,
where
now, 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 now go ahead.
um uh, that's what I wanted to ask was that is it because this company was fairly new, so it was new.
It's brand
It
new.
it seems they kind of stumbled out of the gate. So, um, did they know that what they were doing, or
No, they
they
knew
knew
exactly what they
exactly
were
what it
doing.
was?
No,
Yeah.
well, they knew exactly what they were doing, but at the same time, they didn't know what they were doing because they didn't get a nonprofit. They didn't get no nonprofits to help out the community. They just wanted to make political, make money on their own, and that's it. They didn't care about taxpayers. They didn't care about nothing. But let's screw the city over, and the city hooked us up with this contract.
Well, I mean, it was a $2 million contract, and you're saying that there was a $1 million advance that was given
Yes,
to this company.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I think anybody can be successful if you
Hey,
give them $1 million.
get Jesse Rodriguez. I don't even know where he lives at. I don't even know where he works at. But if I get him, I promise you, I will get him to talk.
I mean, that would be interesting. As a matter of fact, I think his parents live in the same street as my parents do. So that just makes it more interesting. And he actually was my director when I worked with the city of Eagle Pass. So that might even add more drama to the excitement. But I mean, I'm not off the. I won't take it off the table if he's willing to, talk to us and let us know, what it was that happened. Because in speaking with you, we're learning that there was a lot of things that are sketchy. One. Two, we're worried that we're not going to be able to get to the bottom of this just for the fact of the conscious way that the
You want to
LLC.
know? You want to know how you can get to the bottom of this?
How's that? How
I
can we
don't know
do
if
that?
I don't know if taxpayers is part of federal funds or not. But if you get the feds involved, trust me, they'll get to the
Ooh,
bottom of it.
wow.
I'm
That
gonna tell you
that's
right now. I'm gonna
that's
tell you right off the back. You get the feds involved, they'll get a subpoena. They'll pull out the records on every cell phone they'll put out everything, and they
Well,
do an
see,
audit. If you get the feds involved, the feds will go in there and they'll audit the city. You don't need the attorney general. Why wait for the attorney general? You got the real down the street. Get the feds
well,
involved. As simple as
the
that.
the reason that was done, because if you do go through an opinion with the attorney general, you do avoid the immediate criminal proceedings or anything that can follow, because it's asking for an opinion. Now, if you go to an FBI agency and say there might be something criminal that was done here,
No,
they're not.
not saying there might be. There is something criminal, but
Oh
we just
wow,
can't pinpoint it. You guys get do the job, get involved, and let's get to the bottom of this.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I will say that there's a lot of things here that do not add up, and we're a little
Hey,
worried.
like it's shady, it's illegal, but I'm just like I said, I'm just waiting for people to say like whatever they want to say. But in the long run, I'll get the feds involved, and I have the manpower to do it. I'm just waiting. Oh, 9 months it's gonna take? No, it ain't. It'll take less than that. I'm already involved, but I'm just gonna do it to prove a point. And I'm gonna tell it. And once everything happens, I'm gonna say the city of Eagle Pass. See, you guys didn't believe me. You guys thought I was full of it, but I guess the ball's in my court, and I know how to play it.
Wow, so some strong words, man.
Well, yeah,
Well,
because now they're saying it's gonna take 9 months. I'm only like listening here and there. I'm like, okay, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get the feds involved. Let's get the feds involved. Pull out the contracts. Pull out the text messages. Go get Jesse Rodriguez. Speak up. Hey, you're involved. You want. They, they don't want the 5 year guy. They want the 20-year guy. And who was the one
that's
that
how
pulled the trigger?
typically law enforcement
And
was.
and
Yeah,
and and, and who pulled the trigger on that 2.5 million on the 3 million? Who
I
was the
think
one that authorized it?
I think that's what we all want to know.
Hey,
I think that's
let's pull out the phone records. You know what? Let's get a subpoena. Let's do this.
that's if there was a third party, the way it's been said that there is, that is the only way we are going to see those contracts, if it's a subpoena, because if it's a private, they have no
Yeah,
obligation to
but
show anything.
no, but when there's a subpoena,
No, it's a subpoena. Yeah, you gotta.
you get the feds involved. Trust me, they'll speak up. But
Hello.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. Attorney General is gonna, like Ms. Cruz said, it's gonna take a long time for this to get audit. It could take months, a year, who knows? But I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna make a phone call, and then I'm gonna get the feds involved, and let's see if it's gonna take 9 months. Because I'm listening stories here and there, and I just want to see what they want to do. Because I heard, hey, nothing's gonna happen. They think nothing's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen. I know that because the feds are gonna get involved. But
Yeah.
it just like they just want to see. That's what I'm saying. Is it taxpayers' money or federal funds money? Where that money came from? Which department? Who was the one that authorized it? Who was the one that gave it? Get Jesse Rodriguez involved. He'll talk.
Yeah. I mean, an open invitation. If we have open invitation, if we can have, I mean, Jesse Rodriguez, if you're watching, or anybody that knows Jesse Rodriguez, if you're
Jesse
watching,
Rodriguez, the
let him
finance
know.
guy that worked for the city of Eagle Pass, they got
Mhm.
fired for not doing things their way. Jesse Rodriguez, call Isaac. Isaac will give you my number. Don't be afraid. You'll be protected. And let's see what we can do. If they don't want to pull out the contracts, they are going to pull out the contracts. When? I know when. Even though he says no, they're going to pull out the contracts. And
And
this is just to prove a point that anything's possible, knowing the right people.
yeah, that's what we're learning more and more each and every day.
Because the city of Eagle Pass and the county, I don't work for them. Man, and I always do what I want. Always have and always will. But why? Because I have the state of Texas on my side, and I'm protecting.
Yeah.
You want to know since when I have the state of Texas?
When's that?
When the elections got stopped to Isidro Garza from Secretary of State. Ever since then, we established a good relationship.
That was a while back.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while
Politics.
back.
I stopped it.
Yeah.
That's what,
Politics are still here to stay, aren't they?
yeah. And once you're in, you can't get out. That's what they say. But like I tell everybody, hey, when you want to become a promoter, you have to do things the right way. Get back to the community. Don't make 100% profit because the state's not going to give you a permit. You need to get back. And if you want to do something to help out kids or whatever, I got your back. Whatever you want to do, I'll help you out.
Awesome. I think the community would like that. I mean, the community needs something like that.
Have
Help them out.
have scholarships for the kids, or do something for the kids. Give back to the community.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Mayen, you call Mr. Mayen, you tell him about me, he'll tell you that's the only person I work with. Why? Because he always helps us out. I always help out the Boys and Girls Club out. Give back. I don't care how much money you make. You just make it, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't get greedy. You get greedy, you don't get nowhere.
No, yeah, that's
know.
that's the story.
But
But
going to Management One, they've been around not even a year, and they already made all that profit.
yeah, I wish some of my businesses did that good.
I wanted to see the contracts. I didn't want to see
The
those
contract.
numbers can be typed up anyhow. Break it down,
Mhm.
but I never seen a list. Services 82,000. What services? $1 million.
Yeah.
121,000 in marketing. Was there enough marketing to convince you to go to that event? No.
I mean, I didn't go. I didn't show up.
I didn't even go either. Did you see a poster, a flyer in the street?
Posters, flyers, no. I mean, I did see something, but it was on social media only.
Yeah, but you didn't see one at the store, at a restaurant when you walked in? No. When you do an event, you go beyond. You make sure every town has a poster, restaurants, everything. You don't just focus on social media because a lot of people don't have social media. Ramon Ayala is a great artist, but remember, Ramon Ayala is our generation. Ahorita, Ramon Ayala, I'm sorry, but this is his last year. Farewell tour.
Yeah.
Intocable is not worth 250,000. And I can put Carrasco on the phone, Oscar Carrasco on the phone, and he knows that. But that's why Miss Cruz called them out, because she knows what Intocable charges, and she knows this type of business, how the water runs. So that's why Intocable didn't show up.
No, man, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. We know it's Friday night, and people typically like to, relax and have a good time. But we appreciate you joining us. I don't know if you have. We're going a little bit over an hour now. We've had a good crowd, so I thank you for that. You pulled in a one hell of a crowd. We've been over 80 most of the damn night, so thank you for that. But any last words you want to say to the people? Anything you want to let them know about the situation?
To everybody that supported me. If there's anything I can help you all on, let me know. Isaac, like I said, I extend my hand to you. In the future, you want to do something, we'll do things the right way. And there's no contracts hiding here. This is directly to Maverick Times, and for me, getting involved, calling, getting the bands together, whatever. There's a fee I charge, a finder's fee, which is not a whole lot, but just have to charge something for that, and that's it. You don't make a profit. You make a percentage plus the people that use a nonprofit, they make another percentage on the beer sales. Now, door, that's when you do everything. You have an event, we'll put it together, and we'll put a huge event together. And you want to know how much we'll charge? 10
What's
bucks.
that? Nothing.
10
10
bucks.
bucks.
10 bucks for the people can go and have fun, and that's it. And I have a whole bunch of kids at castles, jumping castles for the kids. Under 12, free event. Kids are free. But the way they did it, they didn't focus on the family event. They just focused at the casino people. Casino's good. I'm not gonna lie, casino's good. But when you have a beer out there and you run out of beer, you have to go back to the casino and get some beer. What happens there?
Yeah.
But also, I want to give a big shout out to Saul Ted Gomez, which is the guy. Anybody has a cell phone problem, go look for Saul. Tell him I sent you. He'll give you the Guapo discount. Once again,
Guapo discount. Nice.
Thank you for your time, and everybody that's following us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and a big shout out to the Sheriff Tom Smurford, my friend. Saludos, and that's about it.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much again, Tony. Like I said, we had over 80 people watching from all across our social media. We got Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, y todo eso. You drew us a pretty big crowd here, and we appreciate that.
Whenever you want to have me, you have questions. Hey, you have my number directly. Call me, and if I can't give you the right answer, I'll get it. Pero it's not gonna stay like this. It's not gonna stay like this. The things are just birdie coming out. Mm-hmm. They're just giving you what they want. What they're saying. The list, itemize it. That's it. But the contracts, there has to be contracts. Right off the bat,
that's the good stuff.
The minute I got involved, the mentor sent me a friend request. But it just
that usually tells you everything, right?
Yeah. Pero no. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and stay safe out there. It's Friday. Don't drink and drive, and that's it.
Awesome.
Go Trump,
all right,
baby.
Tony. Well,
go Trump.
All right, Tony. Well, we'll catch you up later. Hopefully, we can catch up for another podcast later on in the year, and we'll catch up, or maybe even sooner rather than later if we get any news coming out of the city, and maybe get a reaction and commentary from you once that does happen.
Hey, when's the next city council meeting?
The next city council meeting, I believe they probably will have a special one towards the end of the month.
Because I want to go back, and if they don't have the proper answers to contracts, I can probably speak up. 3 minutes of freedom of speech, and there you go.
Awesome. Well, no, again, we appreciate you joining us on short notice and letting everybody, educating everybody, telling people how it should be, how it was, and what you saw wrong with the situation with the city of Eagle Pass. So thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. You too, man. Thank you. Guys, well, there you have it, guys. We're at the end of the podcast now. If you haven't already, like and share this podcast. There was a lot of good information here. We'll be going back and downloading the video, chopping up some of the pieces. There was a lot of important information that was said in this video, guys. So if you're curious about what's going on with the city of Eagle Pass and have any questions that you want us to answer for you, send us an email at themavericktimesnews@gmail.com, or you can send us to an email to tips@themavericktimesnews.com. We also have a tip sheet in our website, themavericktimesnews.com, where you can send us anonymous tips, news tips that we can investigate as needed. So if you guys need to get in contact with us, that's a way to get in contact with us. We're also going to be making sure we follow up with the situation with the $2.35 million loss that the city of Eagle Pass and Just One Management LLC was a part of. But before we go, we do want to say a message from our sponsor, Viva K9 Dog Training, Grooming, and Boarding Services, guys. Your dog deserves it. Step over to 1388 William Street, where Viva K9 Dog Training, Grooming, and Boarding Center will take care of your best friend and pet. 830-335-2111, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We had a great show. We will be back sometime this weekend or at the latest Monday. We will be bringing you an interview from candidate Maverick County Tax Assessor Collector candidate Mr. Ruben Montemayor is going to be sitting down with us and talking about what is wrong with the current tax assessor collector and her duties as she is performing them. Again, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Again, like this post, share this video, help us spread the message. We appreciate it. Good night, guys. That's enough. Have a great night and be safe.